All right, ready to dive in. This time we're in the book of Numbers, chapters 7 through 9. And let me tell you, these chapters are packed with fascinating stuff. We're talking ancient rituals, leadership roles, you name it. It's a crash course in Israelite life in the wilderness.
It's a pivotal time for them, Fresh out of Egypt, they're not just wandering, they're building a whole new society from the ground up with all the growing pains that come with that.
Talk about a pressure cooker. You've gone from escaping slavery to, okay, what now? How do we function? Who's in charge?
Exactly. And that's where these chapters get really interesting. They offer this incredible window into how the Israelites navigated those questions, their relationship with God, the challenges of forging a shared identity when, let's face it, they're starting from scratch.
And smack dab in the middle of this societal construction project is the Tabernacle. Not just any tent, right? This is a portable temple, a powerful symbol of God's presence. What's the significance there, in your view?
It's crucial. Imagine you're surrounded by desert, uncertainty everywhere. The tabernacle becomes this anchoring point, a visible, tangible reminder of God's covenant right there with them.
A beacon, almost.
Yeah.
A constant amidst the chaos. And speaking of the tabernacle, we got to talk about the dedication ceremony. Numbers chapter 7 lays out this incredible 12-day event.
12 days, each tribal leader bringing offerings. It's a big deal. And the offerings themselves, equally fascinating.
Oh, yeah. We're out in silver dishes, silver bowls, gold pans, incense, oxen, rams. The list goes on. But what struck me, and maybe this is just me, is how uniform it all is.
Right. It's almost like they all got together and were like, okay, everyone bring the exact same thing.
Yeah. Like, did they have an ancient Israelite version of Amazon Prime with next day delivery or something? There's got to be a reason for all this uniformity.
There is. And I don't think it's about convenience shopping. It's about identity. Remember, these are 12 distinct tribes, each with their own history, customs, maybe even some rivalries.
Right, fresh off a collective trauma, too.
Yeah.
Escaping Egypt wasn't exactly a bonding retreat.
Exactly. So as they're forging this new national identity, what better way than through this meticulously orchestrated display of unity and equality? It's a powerful message, not just to God, but to themselves. We are 12 tribes, but we stand as one nation under one God.
It's like baking that unity into the very DNA of their society, making it non-negotiable. But every organization needs a management team, and that's where the Levites enter the scene.
Yeah, talk about a career change. Instead of the firstborn from every family taking on the priestly duties like they were used to, God chooses the entire tribe of Levi for the job.
The whole tribe. Imagine that. Pack your bags, Levi. You're switching teams. You're responsible for the tabernacle, the rituals, everything. It's a huge responsibility, a complete lifestyle shift. What are your thoughts on that choice, dedicating a whole tribe to this purpose?
It underscores the enormity of the task, This tabernacle wasn't a permanent fixture, right? It had to be assembled, taken apart, moved constantly throughout their journey. That takes a dedicated team, a specialized skill set.
Like a dedicated crew for a touring band. Only instead of instruments and speakers, they're moving a sacred temple across the desert.
Exactly. And like any well-run operation, there were rules. Numbers even lays out a retirement age for the Levites, 50 years old.
50. Now that's a retirement plan I can get behind. But seriously, why that age limit, especially in a society where, let's be honest, people weren't living as long as they are today? What was the thinking there?
It's a detail that speaks volumes about their priorities. The Levites weren't just moving furniture. They were the keepers of the flame, so to speak. Responsible for the laws, the rituals, passing down that knowledge, the whole history of their covenant with God.
It's a lineage, a passing of the torch from one generation to the next.
Exactly. The retirement age wasn't just about acknowledging the physical toll of the work, though that was probably a factor. It was about mentorship, creating a space for younger Levites to learn, to eventually take the reins.
It's fascinating how these chapters in Numbers blend the practical and the spiritual so seamlessly.
Yeah.
We've got these incredibly detailed instructions for the tabernacle, the organization of the Levites, and then boom, we're talking about Passover, specifically how to celebrate, even if you're, ritually unclean.
It's a side of ancient religion we often miss, isn't it? We tend to picture rigid rules, but here, in Numbers chapter 9, we see something else. There's an acknowledgement that life happens, even when it comes to matters of faith.
It's almost funny when you think about it. What if I touch something dead? What if I'm on a trip? These are age-old problems, but still so relatable, even today.
Completely. And the text response is what's crucial. Instead of exclusion, we see adaptation. The message is that participation in these rituals shouldn't be this all-or-nothing thing. God, through Moses, offers alternatives, a level of understanding and compassion that's pretty remarkable.
It's about recognizing that everyone's in a different place, right?
Yeah.
And faith, if it's going to mean anything, has to be accessible. It has to meet people where they are.
Absolutely. It's about connection, ultimately. And speaking of connection, there's no more powerful image in these chapters than that of the guiding cloud.
Oh man, the ancient GPS. Can you imagine wandering through the desert with just this cloud as your everything, your guide, your protector, your reassurance that you're on the right track?
It's a powerful image, yeah. And I think it goes way beyond just navigation. This cloud, described in Numbers chapter 9, by day, it's a cloud. By night, a pillar of fire. It's a visible manifestation of God's presence, guidance, protection, all of it wrapped up in this incredible, almost unfathomable phenomenon.
It must have been awe-inspiring to witness, and also kind of reassuring, right? No matter how lost or uncertain you might feel, that cloud is a constant reminder that you're not alone, that there's something bigger guiding your steps.
It speaks to that deep human need for guidance, something that transcends time and place. We may not have a literal pillar of fire leading us, but that longing for direction, for reassurance, it's universal, wouldn't you say?
We're all looking for our own guiding clouds, those moments of clarity, those gut feelings that tell us we're on the right path, or even, the people in our lives who offer wisdom, support, a sense of direction when we need it most.
Exactly. Those are the things we look to when we're feeling lost, the things that help us make sense of the wilderness. And maybe, just maybe, that's the most powerful message of these chapters, that even amidst the uncertainty, the challenges, that sense of being guided, of being connected to something larger than ourselves, it's a constant.
It's a beautiful thought and a perfect place to wrap up this deep dive into the book of Numbers. We've covered a lot of ground, from the dedication of the Tabernacle to the crucial role of the Levites, the flexibility of faith with the Passover instructions, and of course that awe-inspiring guiding cloud. It's a reminder that even in the ancient world, even in the middle of the desert, the human experience or need for connection, for guidance, for meaning, it's a timeless story, isn't it?
It really is. And who knows, maybe this deep dive will spark something for our listeners, encourage them to look for those guiding clouds in their own lives, those moments of connection that remind us we're not alone in the wilderness.
Welcome to Charlie and Mia's podcast. We're embarking on an exciting journey to read through the entire Bible in just 1 year. Every day, we dive into Scripture, exploring its meanings and how it applies to our lives today. We invite you to join us on this incredible adventure of learning and discovery. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode.